passionate from your heart to your head.
From Dayton, Ohio, regional final action tonight. The #1 seed in Dayton, the Tennessee Lady Vols, take on the 2 seed, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. One of these two teams headed to Indianapolis for the Final Four. Now let's go back to you, Trey.
All right, Dave, thanks. A ticket to the Final Four on the line. Welcome into our studios. Trey Wingo here with Carolyn Peck, Carol Lawson, and delighted to be joined by UCLA basketball coach Nikki Caldwell. Nikki, you saw the graphic there. Notre Dame has never beaten Tennessee. What must they do tonight to pull the upset?
Well, their big-time players have got to step up. Devereaux Peters have got to be that inside attack that they need against that Tennessee defense because they are big, they are strong, and they are athletic. And then Skylar Diggins, she has got to have an unbelievable showing at the point position for them.
See, I think there's two potential matchup nightmares for Notre Dame when you look at Tennessee. The first is Shakina Strickland. Pat Summitt will move her around the different areas of the floor. She's very versatile. And then Glory Johnson, that athleticism, the way she attacks the glass.
Devereaux Peters for Notre Dame has got to stay in the ball game. And Natalie Achungwa coming off the bench, that's a big 6'3" presence that could be a problem for the small lineup of Tennessee because a guard could possibly have to defend her.
Well, we're about to find out. And just to put Pat Summitt's career in perspective, this is her 37th year at Tennessee. If they win tonight, it will be her 19th trip to the Final Four. In other words, she's batting over 500. Should be a good one in Dayton, Ohio. Let's go out to the action now. Dave Fleming and Rebecca Lobo.
Indeed, tonight we are here in Dayton, Ohio for the regional final. Welcome to the NCAA Women's Championship on ESPN, presented by Capital One. Our matchup, it's a real good one. The top 2 seeds, #1 Tennessee Lady Vols against #2, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And, of course, there are only 8 teams left in the Women's Championship now. Tonight, we send our first on to Indianapolis for the Final Four. Tennessee and Notre Dame battling for the right to go to Indy. And hi, everyone. Welcome to Dayton. Dave Fleming, along with my partner, Rebecca Lobo. Rebecca, fascinating matchup tonight. Tennessee and Notre Dame, two teams known for their great defense. So as we get started, let's figure out how they're going to do on the offensive end of the floor.
Well, both teams are going to want to push the ball in transition and get easy layups and get easy points. But they are very different teams in the half-court set. Tennessee can have a punishing offense. If they get the ball inside, they have size and depth with their bigs to control the paint. And they are relentless on the offensive glass. 20 offensive rebounds against Ohio State. And for Notre Dame, they have a precision offense. They read what the defense gives them. If you overplay, they will get back cuts and back doors. And if you get caught in a defensive rotation, they will screen you and try to get the open three-point shot.
So good breakdowns there, Rebecca. 2 players will be so key in running those 2 offenses. Our star watch here, let's focus on the point guards.
For Notre Dame, Skylar Diggins is a great decision maker. She had 12 assists versus Oklahoma. She can also score, leads the team in field goal attempts. And for Tennessee, Megan Simmons, a quick scoring lead guard with deep range on her 3. Pat Summitt has called her the quickest guard she has ever coached.
Simmons and Diggins, part of the Capital One starting lineups as we take a look at the full starting lineups on both sides. We'll start with Notre Dame. It's been a tremendous year for the Fighting Irish. 29 wins overall, including 13-3 record in the very tough Big East. They've got Devereaux Peters, an outstanding defensive presence down low inside. She's a key player to watch here in this game. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the top seed in Dayton, the Lady Vols of Tennessee, 34-2. They have won 25 games in a row. Shakina Strickland right there in the middle, the SEC Player of the Year. The head coach, of course, of the Lady Vols. What a career, one of the all-time greats. Pat Summitt, her 37th season. She has never lost to Notre Dame. The Lady Vols are 20-0 all-time against the Fighting Irish. And on the other side of things, outstanding career in her own right. Muffet McGraw, her 24th year at Notre Dame. She has never lost in this Elite 8 regional final round, trying to make it back to a 3rd all-time Final Four. So the coaches making their final preparations in the huddle with their 2 teams as we get set to send the first team team to Indianapolis for the Final Four. As you would expect, lots of orange here in Dayton. The Lady Vols travel huge numbers of fans wherever they go and expecting to see Tennessee move on. But, Rebecca, this will not be an easy win by any stretch for the Lady Vols.
I think this is going to be a really interesting game. Both of these teams can score a lot of points. Both of these teams play really good defense. It might come down to offensive rebounds, turnovers. The little hustle plays will make a difference here in this game.
Just moments ago in the Tennessee locker room, it was not Pat Summitt. Mickey DeMoss addressed the Lady Vols. Let's take a listen.
Okay, they have all this stuff they like to do. All right, but you know what we need? We don't need all that. We've got one color, we've got one heart, and we have one goal. We need the Orange Crush right here.
So apparently everyone on that Tennessee coaching staff can get the team fired up. Tennessee, a fascinating group of young women with their coaching staff leading the way. The #1 seed as we get started. Regional final from Dayton. And the Fighting Irish will take the opening tip and have the ball first.
Tennessee starting out in a man-to-man defense, but they will look to switch things up a little bit in the half court.
A loose ball and a jump ball. That will give it to the Lady Vols of Tennessee. That's a quick turnover for Notre Dame. That was a big part of the story, even though they blew out Oklahoma in the regional semifinal.
They were careless with the basketball, and they had some unforced turnovers. And against a team like Tennessee, you have to take care of the ball or they will make you pay.
Now Megan Simmons of the Lady Vols have the ball for the first time.
Notre Dame also starting out in a man-to-man defense, but they too will look to switch things up in the half and three-quarter court.
Lori Johnson, not much of an outside shooter, but a tremendous athlete. Sophomore Tabor Spaney, who did not start against Ohio State, back in the starting lineup here tonight. The shot clock is down to 5. Johnson makes her move, and she traveled. That's a turnover for Tennessee. Diggins, one of the best guards in all of college basketball. The sophomore, running the offense for Notre Dame. Finally, Novosel pull-up jumper. That one no good, and a rebound for Tennessee. Simmons so quick, attacks a basket, but missed the short shot.
How about Megan Simmons, though? The quickness going 1-on-4.
Well, Simmons, just a tremendous athlete end-to-end. Megan Simmons is something to watch. She has played so well in this NCAA tournament. And Utah, Temple, Oklahoma, the 3 they have beaten to get here to the regional final. One down low, Becca Bruszewski. She could not convert.
But Bruszewski had the mismatch on the switch with Tennessee's defense. Megan Simmons on her in the block. She just wasn't able to convert.
Double team comes. That leaves Simmons open, and she misses the 3.
But I think it's important for Tennessee to start the game going inside out. They haven't had quick shots here in their half-court sets.
Diggins trying to find Bruszewski. Intercepted by Johnson. She leads out. Shakina Strickland for the first basket of the game. And perhaps, Rebecca, some nerves in the early going, and I think we've seen that on both sides.
And I think the team's feeling one another out as well. They haven't gotten too much going in transition in the half court, just trying to figure out where the open shots are going to come.
There's an open look, and Diggins knocks down the 3.
I really like Diggins' game. She made the transition this year from the shooting guard to the point guard, but it's been pretty seamless. She doesn't rush things. She looks to get her teammates open, but when she's open herself, she can hit the 3.
Brittany Mallory found her. Mallory handled the ball on that possession. Simmons going to the bucket again, commits an offensive foul.
That's where Megan Simmons has to be careful. She's so quick that she can get in trouble if the defense can get in front of her.
Player that Tennessee, they're so deep, the Lady Vols, but they cannot afford to have Simmons in foul trouble. She is critical for them.
Simmons, the one player for this Tennessee team that played all 40 minutes against Ohio State in their last round. And now Tennessee extending the pressure into the half court in a little bit of a zone.
Just underway from Dayton. A trip to the Final Four on the line. Bruszewski hits the short shot.
And it's important for Notre Dame if they can get some things from the other players, and Becca Bruszewski is one of them.
Tina Strickland, SEC Player of the Year, such a multi-talented player. We saw her turn it on big time in the second half in Tennessee's win over Ohio State. A runner there, no good. Fighting for the ball, out of bounds, off of Notre Dame. It'll be Tennessee basketball. Simmons, the inbounder, gets a quick look back from the corner. Simmons no good, but a long rebound to Spaney. She shoots and rattles it home.
Xavier Spaney did not start the last game, but Pat Summitt inserting her in the starting lineup here for Angie Bjorklund, and a good sign for Tennessee to get some outside shots to fall.
1-point lead for Notre Dame. Diggins had an opening, so she took the shot. There's Peters' offensive rebound. She draws a foul. And let's check in for the first time tonight with the third member of our broadcast team, Todd Harris. Todd?
All right, thank you very much, Dave. If Notre Dame's going to be successful tonight, they're going to need a lot of help and top performances from their bigs on the front line. Now, Becca Bruszewski, she is a senior, and she is a starter at forward. But the other night, Saturday's game against Oklahoma, she sustained a pretty serious knee injury. She's now been fitted with a brace on her left knee. Was not cleared to practice yesterday, but was cleared to play today. As she told the coaches, she's going to try to play whatever. Their big problem was trying to find a knee brace for her. They ran out of left knee braces, so they had to hustle and find the Don Joy rep that lives in the area to bring her one. Keep an eye on Becca Bruszewski. She's also known affectionately as Bruiser.
And it's an apt nickname, Todd. Thanks for that. We will keep an eye on her. Key player for the Fighting Irish. Now Brewer had it poked away from behind. Notre Dame on the move. Diggins with the dish. Novosel scores with the foul.
And if that is the second foul on Megan Simmons, that is big for Notre Dame and Tennessee. Notre Dame, both of these teams want to get out in transition. Devereaux Peters comes over, causes the steal, and nice decision by Natalie Novosel. The little hesitation, and draws the foul.
And indeed it is. Foul number 2 already against Simmons. She goes out of the game, and we'll see when we see her next. But obviously, she is upset. And that is not good news for the Lady Vols. Perhaps their most important player, just a freshman, but played every minute of their win against Ohio State. Simmons is on the bench with 2 quick fouls.
And Kamika Williams had a good game in their last round against Ohio State, but a different player. She's not quite the offensive threat that Megan Simmons is. And you know, Pat Summitt has talked about Simmons. She said she forces everyone else to move at a different pace. So we'll see here how Tennessee does in the half-court offense.
Kamiko Williams has the ball right here. She comes in for Simmons. Think about all the great players Tennessee has had over the years. Pat Summitt says Megan Simmons the quickest athlete they've ever had. Spaney shoots a 3, no good. And a good box out by Peters.
And Notre Dame has done a really good job boxing out and not letting Tennessee get the second looks off the glass.
Diggins aggressive to the basket.
Skylar Diggins, I think, rarely makes a bad decision on the offensive end in terms of when to shoot and when to pass the basketball.
Fighting Irish shooting the ball well. What a great start for Notre Dame. Williams hangs in the air, no good. Johnson way up for the offensive board. Missed the follow, got it back, had it poked away. It'll be Tennessee ball when we come back to Dayton. Well, a great start for Notre Dame, and Megan Simmons, the freshman star for Tennessee, not real happy in the early going. 7-point lead for the Fighting Irish.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet? And in part by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And Adidas. Adidas is all in. United by passion. What's yours?
Hi, I'm Reese Davis. The journey has begun for the Capital One Cup. At the end of the school year, one men's and one women's Division I athletics program will win this coveted award given to the school with the best on-field performance in NCAA Division I championships. Each winning school will receive $200,000 to fund student-athlete graduate-level scholarships. Follow your school and check the standings at CapitalOneCup.com.
Springtime belongs to the doers, those of us who know grass doesn't turn green just because the calendar says to, and that a big difference can grow from a small budget. For those of us with grass on our sneakers, dirt on our jeans, and a lawn that's as healthy as our savings, the days are about to get a whole lot greener. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. We're lowering the cost of well-grounded plants with Miracle-Gro Garden Soil for just $3.97.
This spring, get more mileage out of your travel plans with $50 in free gas. Stay 2 separate times at Comfort Inn or any of these choice hotels, and you can earn a free $50 gas card. Book now only at choicehotels.com.
It's the Diet Do Challenge.
You have your fans all fired up, Kenny.
Well, you thought I wouldn't, and I maintain Team Voltage is going to win this whole thing. We've been vlogging. We've been dropping Twitter bombs from the sky.
Twitter bombs?
So what have you done for Supernova?
I'm just telling people to taste it. It's in stores now, and it's delicious. And I'm telling people to go to dietdochallenge.com and vote for Supernova.
On the internet?
Good luck, Kenny.
Pick the next Diet Mountain Dew flavor at dietdochallenge.com.
Lexmark presents Inkosaurus. Ink so expensive he'll annihilate any bottom line. Outsmart evil ink. The Lexmark Professional Touchscreen All-in-Ones with 500-page black ink cartridges, just $4.99.
It's opening day. Tigers, Yankees. Thursday at 1 Eastern on ESPN. Matt and Murphy McGraw are here, the family of Notre Dame head coach Muffet McGraw, and very pleased with the start for the Fighting Irish. First minutes from Dayton with a spot in the Final Four on the line. Notre Dame has an 11-4 lead against the top seed, the Tennessee Lady Vols. Tennessee also has their star freshman point guard, Megan Simmons, on the bench with 2 early, very quick fouls. Plumbing, Rebecca Lobo, Todd Harris with you from Dayton.
Kelly Kane in the lineup for Tennessee. She was terrific at the start of the game against Ohio State. And they really looked to get the ball into her on the block. 6'6" post presence who can score inside.
They got her a touch, but she had to give it back to Strickland, who hit the 3 with some contact.
It was Simmons out of the game. Strickland, one player who can really create her own offense when things are a little bit stagnant in the half court.
And Shakina Strickland, who was sort of out of position but did it anyway for a couple of years, was the primary point guard for Tennessee. Novosel, a quick jumper, knocks that one down. I think a more fluid start on offense for one of the top scorers of Notre Dame, Natalie Novosel. Peters with a defensive rebound and a quick outlet pass. Diggins, Mallory open for 3, came up short. Johnson grabs it for Tennessee.
Mallory started so quickly in their last game, hitting from the perimeter. Right now for Notre Dame, they have this lead, and she's yet to score.
Brittany Mallory set a new career-high 6 3-pointers made and a win against Oklahoma on Saturday. Now Kane, the player Rebecca was just highlighting, down low in good position, and a foul called against Peters in Notre Dame. As important as Megan Simmons is, on the bench with her 2 fouls, the freshman for Tennessee, Devereaux Peters, is critical for Notre Dame, and she's going to come out, at least for the moment. The freshman Natalie Achanwa checks in for the Fighting Irish.
Well, Devereaux Peters just changes this Notre Dame team. She's so athletic inside. She blocks shots. She gets steals. She can finish, especially when she gets offensive rebounds. It's vital for Notre Dame for Peters to stay out of foul trouble.
Peters is the defensive player of the year in the Big East Conference. Strickland way off the mark there. Out of bounds off of Gruszewski in Notre Dame. I say Gruszewski, it was Achanwa who is in the game. Tennessee has the basketball here, and Kane gets a quick double team. That's a tie-up, and the ball goes back to the Fighting Irish.
Well, Kane is so big and strong, 6'6" inside, and she just has a different frame than anybody on the Notre Dame team. So when she gets the ball inside, she will draw some attention and get that double team.
Kane was 8 of 10 shooting the ball against a good, tough Ohio State team. Had a big impact on that game. Novosel, leading scorer for the Fighting Irish, 15 points a game. With the shot clock now under 10. Novosel, a contested pull-up, rebound, Volunteers. Johnson, the big player who can lead the break. Spaney for 3. Over the backboard, ball to Notre Dame. Well, coming up on Tuesday, NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship at 7 Eastern. Duke and Connecticut in the Philadelphia Regional Final. Then at 9 Eastern, Texas A&M and Baylor meet once again in the Dallas Regional Final. The Women's Basketball Championship presented by Capital One on ESPN Tuesday.
Both of those games, teams who are familiar with one another. Duke and Connecticut played one time this season. Baylor and A&M have already played 3 times, with Baylor winning all 3 games.
Not easy to beat a team 4 times in 1 year. Backdoor play. Diggins missed the shot. And now a reach-in foul called against the Fighting Irish. It'll go against Frederica Miller.
And one of the things that Notre Dame does so well is if you are going to overplay defensively and deny, they will back cut you. And it's just a little give and go. Skylar Diggins not able to finish it, but one of the things Muffet McGraw told us that her team does really well and why they shoot a good percentage is they get easy shots. They get a lot of layups. They're not all in transition. You'll get it on the give and go.
That's a shot that Diggins makes almost every time. A travel. Angie Bjorklund, senior, and a key player for the Lady Vols, although she did not start in this game, a rare game where she comes off the bench, commits a turnover.
And Tennessee, through the SEC tournament and the first few rounds of the NCAA tournament, has been terrific, hitting their shots from the outside. They've been a little bit cold here so far in this game.
Bjorklund, who can get hot and make threes in bunches. Over the top pass, Bruszewski had a hard time catching it. In fact, it's on the end line and out of bounds. The offense for the Lady Vols so far has not been real pretty. Not shooting the ball well and not taking care of the ball.
A lot of bodies coming in and out of the lineup for Pat Summitt, trying to find somebody who can get the hot hand.
And perhaps part of that, their point guard, Megan Simmons, on the bench with 2 fouls. Johnson, nice move.
And when you're not shooting well, that's what you need, is an easy basket on the inside. And Glory Johnson is just so athletic and good finishing around the basket.
4-point lead for the Fighting Irish. Diggins in the lane, no good. Ochanwa fighting for the ball, comes up with the offensive rebound. In traffic, she gets fouled. Ochanwa, the freshman, draws the foul.
Team score. There is timeout on the floor.
And that sends us to a timeout here in
A Masters Moment, brought to you by AT&T. 2007. In spite of the unusually cold and windy conditions, Zach Johnson maintained his composure as he headed to the back nine in Sunday's final round, where he made 3 key birdies, including this 8-footer on 16. The Iowa native edged out the competition for the title in the green jacket. His total, 1 over par 289, tying Sam Snead and Jackie Burke for the highest Masters winning score.
Hey, would you mind if I asked Sheila out?
Of course not. We broke up 6 months ago. But I don't think she'd go for a guy like...
She said she'd love to. She can't wait to see me. Really? She's wanted me to ask her out for over a year now. She just sent me a video.
Hi, oh, can I see that?
Yeah.
Can't wait for a date.
In the network, sparks fly faster. AT&T is getting faster with 4G. Rethink possible.
What makes us #1 in motorcycle insurance? We love bikes. We love riders. And most of all, we love to ride.
Perfect hair every time.
Leading the pack in motorcycle insurance. Now that's Progressive. Call or click today.
ESPN, your NBA destination. The Knicks are struggling to find their stride as the pivotal playoff push continues. Wednesday, Carmelo Anthony and Amare Stoudemire look to solidify their spot in the postseason. As Darren Williams and the new-look Nets come to the Garden, hoping to best their local rivals. It's a special NBA Wednesday Big Apple Showdown. Nets-Knicks at 7:30 Eastern, Wednesday on ESPN.
Back here inside the University of Dayton Arena. On the campus of the University of Dayton, it is NCAA Women's Championship Basketball presented by Capital One. The final of the Dayton region. One of these teams moving on to the Final Four in Indianapolis. The top seed, the Lady Vols of Tennessee. The number 2 seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame has never beaten Tennessee in women's basketball. 0-20 all time. But Rebecca Lobo off to a nice start in this game.
Well, much of it is because Tennessee's not able to find a rhythm offensively, and that starts with their point guard, their starting point guard, Megan Simmons, being on the bench with 2 early fouls.
And we'll wonder if she'll stay there for the entirety of the first half, or at some point if Pat Summitt will take a little risk and bring her out onto the floor.
I think you leave her there. As a freshman, doesn't have the experience of being really smart and making sure not to pick up that third, I'd leave her on the bench.
Jennifer Peters back in the game, had a good look. Now Tennessee grabs the defensive rebound. Alicia Manning with the handle, harassed in the backcourt.
But for Erica Miller, who gave some really good minutes in the Oklahoma game the last round, she really is a very good defensive player.
Nico Williams hangs in the air to score. Lady Vols on a little bit of a push. 2-point game. The zone look on defense for the second straight possession.
And with that zone, you see Brittany Mallory getting ready to come back into the game for Notre Dame with their better three-point shooters.
Loose ball, Tennessee came away with it. Miller diving all over the place, and in fact pokes it away from behind. A collision, and now they'll call the jump ball. Diggins can't believe it. She thought she was ready to go to the other end and lay it in.
That was a pretty quick jump ball call, but that's what Frederica Miller does when she comes into the game. She disrupts things. She gets up, she plays defense, she'll pick you up in the full court. She's a quick player, gets low in her stance.
Lady Vols have a chance to tie or take the lead with 3 points. Nico Williams. Manning thought about the three, goes down low. Vicky Ball with the catch. There's an unfake there, could not get the friendly roll. Manning, though, saves it in bounds.
That someone has so much depth when it comes to her post players. We've seen all three of her centers getting some time already in this first half.
Tough shot for Ball, but off the glass she scores.
Vicky Ball is a talented offensive player who's dealt with a lot of injuries through the course of her career.
If she'd stayed healthy, she would have been one of the all-time greats. That's what the Tennessee people think. 9-2 run for the Lady Vols. Mallory is back in the game. Notre Dame still facing that zone. Diggins with some contact. And Chandler threw up a shot, and they'll blow the whistle and say shot clock violation. Never hit the rim.
Notre Dame's offense that time was pretty stagnant. They're much better offensively when they get the ball moving around, whether it's with passes or dribble penetration. They're not a team where the players really create their own offense. They get one another involved. Back screens, give and goes, backdoor cuts.
Williams blew by Diggins, but she recovered, tipped it away from behind. They had an advantage for a moment, but Tennessee got back on defense. Diggins had nowhere to go there. Lucky she didn't turn it over. Well, the field has been set for the Frozen Four. You can tune in on Thursday, April 7th, national semifinal doubleheader on ESPN2, ESPN3.com, 5 Eastern. For more information, go to NCAA.com. Shevsky off the carom. New shot clock. Fighting Irish looking for some points. They've gone very quiet on the offensive end. Shevsky too strong.
But that's the area of the zone that is going to be open, and Notre Dame's going to need to be able to hit those shots.
Williams found an opening. Way too strong. Novosel, who's great at going to the basket, aggressively took it there, had it poked out of bounds. It'll stay Notre Dame basketball. And Notre Dame off to a quick start, but they have missed their last 8 shots from the field.
Well, early on, Notre Dame was able to get more points in transition, get easy layups, and they've been Tennessee's done a great job getting back defensively, so Notre Dame's had to set up in the half court.
Really, you are seeing it, just no rhythm whatsoever for the Fighting Irish on offense. Diggins is going to take a quick rest. Taylor Turner comes in. Diggins plays big minutes, so we won't see her on the Notre Dame bench for long. A long time since the Fighting Irish made a basket from the field. Shot clock at 7. Novosel got fouled there.
Tennessee foul number 21, Vicky Ball. Her first.
Law called for the personal.
Skylar Diggins, the one player for Notre Dame who can create her own offense, and so without her in the game, screens will be vital.
Novosel throws one up, no good. Rebound, Tennessee has it. Manning looking to push. The bench, Lauren Avant, a freshman, has the handle here. Double screen. Manning going to the basket. Nice pass. Ball, though, rejected by Peters. They call the foul, and that'll be number 2 against the key defensive player for Notre Dame down low, Devereaux Peters.
And that was a good call. Devereaux Peters came in and gave her a lot of body, and this is where Devereaux Peters needs to understand that you let that go. Your presence on the floor is more important to your team than trying to get that block shot. She is such a vital part of this Notre Dame team, and now she's going to have to leave the ball game for the rest of this first half.
Ball missed the first of 2 free throws. Chanwa, the freshman, comes back in, and Peters will sit down. And I think it is likely, Rebecca, just as is the case for Megan Simmons, we won't see Devereaux Peters until the second half.
Early this season, Muffet McGraw sat down with Devereaux Peters and watched film and showed her all of the times when she got bad fouls. And she had been improving, but in some big games, she's gotten into foul trouble, and it really impacts the Notre Dame team.
She might add that one to the montage. Quick shot from Bruszewski down low, and a much-needed basket for Notre Dame.
And a good shot. And what do you see? Notre Dame passing the ball around the perimeter, making the defense shift, and getting a good look at the basket.
Grant with the handle on the perimeter for Tennessee. Achanwa comes out from down low to steal it away, but had it stolen right back by Manning. Then Manning's foot on the end line. It'll be Notre Dame basketball. Well, March, we're seeing the emotions here from the Lady Vols of Tennessee. This tournament can be so emotional. We're going to talk about that when we come back.
At the end of the day, you can't fool people. Nothing sells like the truth. From our fresh pack sauce, to our fresh veggies, to our 100% fresh dough, never frozen. At Papa John's, we believe fresh is better. Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Get a large Works pizza loaded with 7 delicious toppings, or a Tuscan 6-cheese pizza. Your choice, just $11 each. Order now at papajohns.com.
Everything's better when Papa's in the house. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
It's time. The pursuit of elusive glory begins. To beat me, the world will need to swing smarter, escape danger, and defy pressure. It's me against them. It's time. First and second round coverage of the Masters, April 7th and 8th on ESPN and ESPN 3D.
At Crest Honda, we don't like haggling over price any more than you do. So we're proud to introduce upfront pricing. When you come to Crest Honda, every new and used car on our lot is clearly marked with the bottom line, upfront price. Like a new 2011 Value Package Civic for $15,103, or a new 2011 Accord LX for just $18,922. Upfront pricing from Crest Honda. A better way to buy a Honda. Informed, accurate, trusted.
When I'm waiting to get a haircut, I like to spread the word about Ford. How are you?
I'm doing great.
So why don't we deal with the hair later? Take me to your edge.
I saw the look of the car. I'm like, ooh. Yeah.
So what do we call this?
Well, this is my Ford Touch. Absolutely love it. I have a great navigation system.
Quality that beats Toyota.
You got it.
Was it love at first sight?
Absolutely.
Get Edge with a red carpet lease of $289 a month for 24 months. Or get $2,500 cash back. Only at your local Ford dealer.
And actually, you know what? I do need a haircut. Can you hook me up?
That is the 30th anniversary of the Women's NCAA Basketball Championship. And there's been so many great moments over the years, so much emotion. Dave Fleming, Todd Harris, Rebecca Lobo here in Dayton. I'm sure you noticed my partner, Rebecca, in that piece. You experienced some of the great emotions that this tournament can provide.
And I think this Elite Eight game is the hardest game because you're so close to the Final Four. There's so many emotions, and I think we've seen it early on. Both of these teams shooting 6 of 18, maybe pressing a little bit, feeling some of the nerves.
And some of those open shots like that one there for Turner have not gone down. And you could be right. There's so much on the line tonight. A spot in Indianapolis in the Final Four. Ricky Vaugh's been active in this game, making a move down low. Ball with the foul.
And what do you see out of the timeout? But Tennessee looking to get the ball inside. Pat Summitt and Tennessee have always played the game inside out. They emphasize paint points. They had been 1 for 7 from outside the three-point line. That's too many outside shots. When you have the size advantage that they have here, you want to get the ball into Ball. You want to get it into Kelly Kane or Lacey Brewer when they're in the game.
She converts the three-point play. Ball does. And Rebecca, you've spent some time already in this game talking about Devereaux Peters, how important she is for Notre Dame. Without her on the floor, perhaps those points down low become a little easier for the Lady Vols. Now a whistle and 3-second violation. Turnover, Fighting Irish. These two teams with great women's basketball history. Of course, nobody has the history that Tennessee has. Trying to make it to their 19th all-time Final Four. Notre Dame has been there 2 times previously. One of those 2 won a national championship in 2001, the last time they were in the Final Four. Baugh got her hands on the offensive rebound, but lost it out of bounds.
And I think that is the point. Without Peters in the game, it's for Tennessee. You've got the advantage inside, so continue to try to get the ball inside. And Peters also, her absence has an impact defensively because Notre Dame's guards can't quite pressure like they normally do. Peters is a great shot blocker behind them.
Now a whistle, and they're going to say out of bounds. The official got tied up there in the play, and it makes the Lady Vols fans here a little bit upset.
I just like the point where she makes the call. She falls down. Yeah, Manning coming in from out of bounds with the official while laying on the ground, blew her whistle, and made the call.
They're going to go to the scorer's table and make sure that everybody sorts this out. It will be Fighting Irish basketball. Skylar Diggins is back in the game. They put the shot clock back at 22. No possession ever attained by Manning and the Lady Vols. Notre Dame had a nice lead early. Tennessee's gone on a run here. They lead by 2 with just over 6 minutes to go in the first half from Dayton. Regional final. The top 2 seeds.
Notre Dame, I mean, Tennessee has looked really good in this half-court zone defense.
Tennessee just bailed out the Fighting Irish. Bruszewski, that was a tough shot, but she draws the foul.
Yeah, you don't want to foul Bruszewski there. That's not her bread and butter. And she's a little bit off balance, leaning to the side. One of those times where you just try to play good, straight-up, man-to-man.
Bruszewski from the line knocks down the first free throw. We heard from Todd Harris earlier about her knee injury in their regional semifinal win against Oklahoma. And there's her brand new, just driven in today, left knee brace. And this is the second free throw.
She looks really good to me, considering how she went down and that she wasn't able to practice yesterday. She's moving pretty well laterally.
You don't get the nickname bruiser without some toughness. Baugh got caught in between, but the Lady Vols save it. Now Williams had it poked away from behind. A wrestling match for the ball in the lane. The arrow will favor the Fighting Irish. We talked about the injury that Bruszewski suffered. Here it is. If you're squeamish, you might want to look too closely. Bruszewski was in a lot of pain on the bench, was very upset, but went back to the locker room and ultimately came back in the game.
They were told she wasn't going to return in that first half, but then when some of the bigs got in foul trouble, she decided she wanted to come out.
She does not want this to be her final game in a Notre Dame uniform. Now a 3-second violation. Achanwa did not get out of the key.
And Achanwa all season long has played with poise and a presence. Well, this is an Elite 8 game. This is a tough game. Those are shots she can make. She needs to look for her own offense. I think she's been pressing so far, and she just hasn't looked like the player that I had seen all season long.
Achanwa, the freshman from Ontario, had a big game in the Big East final against Connecticut. Now a tough shot, defensive rebound for the Fighting Irish. Ellie Novosel bringing the ball up the court. Higgins with a shot fake. Novosel, that was contested. Out of bounds and off of Tennessee. Miller checks back in for the Fighting Irish. Ocean will go to the bench, and perhaps to get the same kind of message you were just delivering.
Look how small this Notre Dame lineup is. Becca Bruszewski is their biggest player in there right now at 6'1". On the other end, Tennessee has got to look inside. They've got a size advantage on almost every position.
And Tennessee's biggest player, Kelly Kane, just got up and went to the scorer's table, so Pat Summitt's going to try to get her in the game quickly. Tough shot, and Diggins gets it to go. Diggins has 7 points here in the first half. Notre Dame's got the lead back by 1.
And Notre Dame in a man-to-man. You got to go inside. You absolutely have to go inside, even if it's to Strickland posting up.
See if they can get it down low. Ball posting up at the moment. Kamiko Williams takes a shot from the baseline, and they did not get a look on the block.
Shakina Strickland needs more touches for Tennessee. She is such a talented player. She's got post-up ability for a guard.
Mallory hits her first 3 of the game. She had 6 of them against Oklahoma on Saturday.
And that's one way that you can try to make Tennessee get out of that zone, is by busting it, hitting your 3-point shots.
The Irish look a little more comfortable the last few minutes on the offensive end. Baugh takes it to the basket.
And she can do that. Vicky Baugh is talented. She can put the ball on the floor.
Shevsky, little hook shot from near the right baseline.
Becca Bruszewski's showing some of that toughness. I mean, she's come out here. This is a player in pain, wearing the knee brace, and she's just got the right mindset here so far.
We call a foul reach-in against Diggins. That sends us to the timeout. Fighting Irish leading by 4. We talked about the great emotion in this tournament. We have seen that. Everything on the line. A trip to the Final Four at stake here in Dayton.
Thanks to our advanced, direct-injected 4-cylinder engine that offers 30 miles per gallon highway. This moment of solitude can be brought to you for over 500 uninterrupted highway miles, courtesy of the Buick LaCrosse, the most fuel-efficient sedan in its class, the 2011 LaCrosse from Buick. And now sign and drive this 2011 Buick LaCrosse with 0 down payment, 0 security deposit, and 0 due at signing.
Have you tried one of these? It's so good. Man, I can't believe we haven't done this before. Oh, wow, look at that. Bite. Oh, shit. You're aging. Do the jingle. Do the jingle. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hey, guys. Do it again. Do it again. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. In my office.
State Farm.
I think we're good. State Farm agents are there when you need them.
Here we go.
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 Gentlemen, here we go. Here we go.
It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Here we go.
It's a 4-bedroom traditional home on an 1.5 acre landscaped yard.
The master suite has 2 walk-in closets and a completely updated master bath. There's a totally renovated chef's kitchen with updated stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, and a butler's pantry. It's got a screened-in back porch, plenty of storage, and a large backyard.
It's the perfect home, in excellent condition, and ready to move in.
Anytime, anywhere, our agents help guide you to the smartest decisions. Coldwell Banker, we never stop moving.
Trey Wingo here in our studios. You'll hear from Carolyn and Kara. The Home Depot halftime report coming up in just a little bit. UCLA's Nikki Caldwell is here right now. Your thoughts on what you're seeing in the first half?
I'm seeing some sloppy play. I see both teams are not taking care of the basketball, which is making their offense very stagnant. But when Tennessee went to their matchup zone, I thought that gave Notre Dame some problems. But right now, they're getting back into rhythm.
We'll see what happens. Final few minutes of the first half. Let's send it back to Dave and Rebecca.
All right, thanks, Trey. We'll look forward to that. We'll also look forward to hearing from the head coach of the Lady Vols, Pat Summitt. We don't know what we'll get. Coach Summitt had an unbelievable speech to her team at halftime in the regional semifinal against Ohio State. And we will be given access once again to the Lady Vols locker room at halftime. So you won't want to miss what Coach Summit has to say to her team. Strickland, offensive rebound, could not put it back in, but ricocheted out, and the Lady Vols get a third chance.
But once again, right out of the timeout, they run a set that gets Strickland on the block to post up.
Bjorkland's been real quiet, had her shot altered. Novosel with a rebound. Team trailing on defense. She fell down, and that gives Novosel a lane to the basket. A Chanwa offensive rebound. What a good look for the Fighting Irish, and they could not convert. Here's a Chanwa to lay it in.
And Becca Bushevsky making the extra pass, cut by a Chanwa to the basket, and that's a way for her to get herself going offensively with an easy look in the layup.
6-point lead for Notre Dame. Lily Kane, who can be so effective close to the basket, hands it off to Kamiko Williams. 2-point jumper off iron and out of bounds with a collision. Gives us a chance to remind you that the home court of college hoops, ESPN, continues Tuesday on ESPN2 with 2 NIT semifinal games from Madison Square Garden, 7 Eastern. Wichita State and Washington State at 9 Eastern. Alabama and Colorado on ESPN2 Tuesday.
And Dave, I see the game through a post player's eyes. So I'm out there thinking every single time down the floor, unless they have a wide open shot or a layup, you've got to, if you're Tennessee, get the ball into one of your bigs. Give them a touch.
Well, Skylar Diggins scores. Notre Dame's been the team that's been more aggressive, going to the basket, getting looks close to the bucket. And really, it should not be that way. Tennessee's the team with the big size advantage, particularly with no Devereaux Peters. She's on Notre Dame's bench with 2 fouls, has been for several minutes. Biggest lead here for the Fighting Irish with under 2 minutes to go. Now Brewer finds Kane for the layup. And Mallory went down hard.
And oftentimes the best person to pass the ball to the post is the other post. And unselfish play. And interesting to see both of the bigs in the lineup for Cat Summit.
Krzyzewski got double teamed but kept her poised. Now has it poked away though. Stolen right from her. Shoots a 3, in and out. Not afraid to push tempo. Novosel, a hesitation move, gets tracked along the baseline and wants a timeout. She gets the call.
She got stuck in a no-man's zone.
Notre Dame.
Well, Skylar Diggins in Notre Dame. Diggins has been outstanding here in the first half. She's really led the way for the Fighting Irish, particularly on offense.
Well, she can score. She was the 2-guard last year. She's got the scores mentality, but she also knows the right time to dish the ball to her players. She's gotten dribble penetration, gotten her own shot off the dribble penetration, but she's also gotten to the interior of the defense and dished out to her teammates. I mean, this is a sophomore who just has great poise. And of course, the guard comparison, Megan Simmons only played 4 minutes because she has those 2 fouls. And I wonder, too, how's that going to impact Simmons in the second half? I mean, she can kind of be a player who's streaky. And, you know, she's going to have so much energy, so much emotion. There's frustration when you're in foul trouble and sit on the bench for that long. So I'll be eager to see how she comes out the first few minutes of the second half of this ballgame.
You see the emotion on her face. She wants to be in this game. Only played the first 4 minutes, picked up her second foul. She has sat ever since, and she's watched her Tennessee team, frankly, struggle without her. Diggins shoots a 3. No good. Tennessee comes away with the ball. Mallory from behind with the steal. What a nifty defensive play. Then Williams, maybe out of frustration, commits a foul.
Yeah, Brittany Mallory's a pretty crafty defender. And she's Notre Dame's best perimeter defender. They always put her on the other team's best scorer. And she was so terrific offensively in their last round against Oklahoma, hitting all those threes. And she was doing that while having a tough defensive assignment.
And offense is not the name of her game. She'll knock down those shots, but she's known for her defense, and it can be spectacular at times. Krzyzewski's had a very nice first half. 1-and-1 free throws coming up here. 48.8 seconds to go first half from Dayton. Krzyzewski rattles home the first. The winner moves on to the Final Four in Indianapolis.
Krzyzewski's been really good. She's just been solid inside scoring. She's been good on defense. I mean, she's giving up inches and pounds when she's down there on the defensive end, and she's just been battling. She's been very, very effective in the first half here.
Krzyzewski, who averages 9 a game, has 9 in this first half. There is a good difference between the game clock and the shot clock, so barring an offensive rebound, Notre Dame's going to have the ball one more time. Ochanwa knocks it away.
You've got a ball fake there and then make the pass.
There is a lot of frustration on the Tennessee side on their sideline in the game. About a 2-second difference between game clock, shot clock here. Notre Dame's going to act like there's no difference at all. They're going to try to get the final look. Remember, no 10-second rule to get it across midcourt in women's college basketball. Novosel almost had it stolen. She travels. So that's not what the Fighting Irish were looking for there. At least 4.6 seconds. And we'll see what Tennessee can come up with. In fact, they're going to call a timeout, Rebecca, to set up a play here, see if they can't get a shot off. Tennessee, the Lady Vols huddling up. We want to remind you that coverage of the Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues with the Final Four on Saturday on CBS starting at 6 o'clock Eastern. For more information on game times and listings, go to NCAA.com. And let's check in with our partner, Todd Harris. Todd?
Well, Dave and Rebecca, the run for the Virginia Commonwealth Rams began right here in Dayton, and tonight it's the luck of the Irish. They drew the same locker room that VCU had when they started this run, getting 3 victories here in Dayton. It's locker room number 4, and so far, so good. Irish on top by 8.
Well, it is a great story, Todd. VCU on the men's side. Notre Dame trying to get a little of that luck to rub off here and knock off the top seed, Tennessee. Final 4.6 seconds of the half. Lady Vols have it. Kane catches near midcourt. Spaney just back in the game. A tough shot. Hits it at the buzzer. What a boost for the Lady Vols, and what a shot from Tabor Spaney. They will check the monitor at the table to make sure she got it off in time.
Well, this time of year in practice, all teams are running through their end of game, end of clock situations, and this is clearly a play that Tennessee has worked on. You get the ball into the big, coming to the middle, and then she's able to find Spaney on the outside. Clearly the ball is away. Clearly she's behind the line. What a great way for Tennessee to finish the half.
So a lot of frustration for the Lady Vols, but that ought to give them some enthusiasm. We'll see if it tempers their head coach, Pat Summitt, who I'm sure will have quite a message for her Lady Vols in the locker room at halftime. Let's hear from the Tennessee head coach right now with Todd Harris. Todd?
All right, thank you very much, Dave. Pat, you just handed a stat sheet. What was the first thing you looked at?
3 for 30. No, actually, I'm sitting here looking. We're 10 for 30. You know, we're really we're rushing on things. I don't know why, but we are rushing. We're not rebounding as well as we've got to rebound. You know, we just got to battle more in the paint, and our post game's got to step up and carry us.
How much did that take you out of sync when Megan got her second foul?
Well, it was you know, that's huge for us. You know, Megan has been our point guard, and she's been real stable, and everyone looks to her. And unfortunately, we're in a little bit of foul trouble.
Thank you, Coach. Turn to Glory, one of your post players. And Glory, Megan goes out early in the first half. How much does that change for you as a post player?
It's huge. We know that we have to battle on the boards, and we know that we have to work the paint for the post players. And we're kind of struggling right now, but it's okay. You know, we have a second half. We tend to pick it up in the second half. So
11 turnovers. What do you expect from your coach for halftime talk?
It's going to be a tough one, but, you know, it's a physical game. You know, we have to be ready for it. We have to be ready for the challenge that they brought, and we'll have to pick it up the second half.
Thanks for your time, Glory. Dave?
All right, Todd, great stuff, and we can't wait to hear from the Lady Vols locker room. Score at the half. Notre Dame 29, the top seed Lady Vols 24. Now let's go back to Trey Wingo in the studio for the Home Depot halftime report.
All right, Dave, thank you so much, and welcome in
Ohio. It is the NCAA Women's Championship on ESPN, presented by Capital One. Start of the second half from the University of Dayton Arena, and the 2-seed Notre Dame with a 5-point lead against the top seed Lady Vols of Tennessee. 8 teams left in the Women's Championship. tonight here in Dayton. The first gets to advance to the national semifinals, the Final Four in Indianapolis. Just a moment ago, back in the Tennessee locker room, the Lady Vols head coach Pat Summitt and some of her Tennessee players.
That team out there, they're on a mission. This team right here is going through the motion. And if you're going through the motion, you're not going to win anything. Get the ball inside.
We need y'all. We need y'all three. We need the whole team. Yeah. Everybody has to step it up right now.
Yep. Hey, share the ball, y'all. Yeah. It's better that way.
We're going to win this as a team.
Get like 2 reversals would be good.
Well, great stuff once again from inside the Tennessee locker room. Dave Fleming, Rebecca Lobo back with you from Dayton. Rebecca, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, it's not always about just wanting it more. It's about executing. And in that first half, Tennessee has really good shooters and scorers on the perimeter. They did not shoot well from the outside. Tabor Spaney, the only one. She went 2 for 4. I think Tennessee in the second half needs to go inside and out. And for Notre Dame, they did a good job of getting it into the meat of the defense. And Bruszewski got some easy looks. Skyler got some easy looks. And for both of these teams, I think turnovers are going to be key in the second half.
Points in the paint are even. You know Tennessee wants that to be skewed in their favor. We've got 20 minutes to go for a trip to Indianapolis and the Final Four. Rebecca, I thought you made a great point at the end of the first half. What are we going to see from young Megan Simmons? She played just 4 minutes in the first half, the freshman star for Tennessee.
And you have to let the first half go. You're not going to get those 16 minutes back that you weren't able to play. She needs to have a calming presence out here for her team. But one thing she can do that the other perimeter players have had a hard time doing, and that is get some quick looks and some scores.
Before we get started here, there's a slight delay. Muffet McGraw went to one of the officials to try to clear up and perhaps checking on who should have the ball first here at the start of the second half. We'll see if that's what Coach McGraw is asking about. So just a momentary delay before we get started here. Second half from Dayton. It's the regional final. Tennessee, the top seed. They've never lost in 20 all-time games against the Fighting Irish.
What they're checking on is to see if the lineup was switched.
Interesting. So perhaps just a technicality. Tennessee's going to have to have Brewer in the game. So Lacey Brewer is going to have to be in the game. Tennessee made a change. Brewer will be in, and then Vicky Baugh will go have a seat. Perhaps we'll see Baugh right back in shortly. Vicky Baugh played well in that first half.
Muffet McGraw was the one who went to the table, and you're going to figure out your defensive assignments based on what the other team has out there.
Perhaps a little gamesmanship from Notre Dame. Shakina Strickland right away. Moved close to the basket. Missed the shot. Offensive rebound. Missed follow. Out of bounds off of Notre Dame. So Tennessee keeps it.
We talked about Megan Simmons and her foul trouble. Glory Johnson had 2 in that first half. And for Notre Dame, Devereaux Peters now back in the game. But she also has to be careful. She has 2.
In some ways, just as important to the Fighting Irish as Simmons is to the Lady Vols.
And out of bounds play, Notre Dame is in a matchup 2-3 zone defense.
There's Brewer, missed with the left hand, ball poked away. Strickland has it and gets the first bucket of the second half.
And much like we've seen a lot from Tennessee, a lot more energy, even just the first few seconds of this second half, a lot more energy than they had to start the basketball game.
Notre Dame has not lost this year when they've led at halftime. That's going to be severely tested here in the regional final. Peters had it right in her hands and just fumbled it away. Simmons on the break to Strickland, layup good.
And that's something we did not see a lot in the first half, is Tennessee getting out in transitions. Simmons so quick when she gets in the ball in her hands going end to end.
So here come the Lady Vols. Wow, do those halftime speeches work? Bruszewski misses the shot.
The Tennessee also in that matchup zone again, and Notre Dame getting the ball into that foul line area, just not able to convert on the last possession.
The Fighting Irish just too careless with the ball. There was a bad pass from Simmons, stolen by Novosel. 12th turnover for Tennessee. Novosel dished it. The whistle blew, and they're going to call a foul against Tennessee.
And what does Megan Simmons bring to Tennessee? Not only her scoring, but just ridiculous quickness with and without the basketball. Look how quickly she can get down the floor, and Strickland knows that. She knows if she gets out and runs, she will be able to finish.
Well, they missed her for the last 16 minutes of that first half. Here's Skylar Diggins, beautifully done.
Exactly how they drew it up in the out-of-bounds play. Diggins getting the ball back and a nice little easy shot for her.
Into double figures, she's got 11. That leads Notre Dame in the scoring column. Vicky Vaughn did come right into the game and now falls down and travels. Turnover.
You have to understand when you get the ball on the block, you've got the size advantage, but because of that, Notre Dame is going to send help. And as soon as Ball puts the ball on the floor with her dribble, Peters came over with a double team.
Pat Summitt looking for her team to turn it on here in the second half. Down by 3. They trailed by 2 at halftime against Ohio State on Saturday in the regional semifinal. Diggins had a little opening and knocks down the 3.
Diggins was only open for that 3 because of the screen Becca Bruszewski set, and that wasn't a set play. Bruszewski just has the smarts and understood she could get her teammate open.
Spaney, they blow the whistle, call a foul, and we'll see who it's on. It's going to be an important call. I think they did call it against Devereaux Peters. They did. That's her 3rd personal.
And on the other end, Skylar Diggins coming off, and there is the screen, and Bruszewski's right there, and Peters sees that the defense gets hung up on the screen, so she has the room and can take the shot.
Good point there. Nice little 2-player game with Notre Dame. Now Peters has to come out, so that 3rd foul came quickly. Devereaux Peters is very frustrated. Only 1 point, has had minimal impact on this game.
And she's going to sit for a while. But she has to understand when she comes back in, she's got to have a short memory. She's got to get rid of that. Because when she comes back in the game, it's going to be important for Notre Dame to have the active Devereaux Peters that they need on the back line. But you know what? They did a pretty good job in the first half, effectively, offensively, and defensively with Peters on the bench.
Both free throws good for Spaney. Diggins finds Bruszewski. Layup good. Those two have carried Notre Dame. Diggins and Bruszewski. Now Bruszewski got her hand on the pass, knocked it out of bounds. Good defense.
But Tennessee, just from the backcourt to the front court, gets there so much faster with Megan Simmons in the game. And then they have more time on the shot clock, and they have more time to run what they want offensively.
6-point lead for the Fighting Irish. Strickland, nice shot fake. Created a lot of room, but missed the shot. Ball had it in her hands, but it was taken away. Diggins attacking, finds Novosel. Too strong.
What a good shot for Notre Dame.
Quick down the court, Glory Johnson.
Glory Johnson is just quick, and she's got size, but she can really move down the floor. And you know, with Megan Simmons in the game, if you run, she will push the ball ahead.
Pat Summitt says you put everything together, speed, quickness, leaping ability. Glory Johnson might be the best overall athlete they've ever had at Tennessee. Diggins shoots another 3, hits another one.
And in that zone for Tennessee, you need to be aware of Skylar Diggins, especially because she just hit one a few possessions ago.
Diggins has been very comfortable from the outside in this game. Johnson puts the ball on the floor, gets it right back from Strickland. Johnson, good defense by the freshman Achanwa, and she forced the air ball. Bruszewski got trapped but got out of there. Now we'll see if the Fighting Irish have an advantage. Diggins thinks so. What a beautiful bounce pass. Novosel.
Natalie Novosel read that perfectly. Skylar Diggins got in below the free throw line. Novosel went behind the defense. A fantastic pass and a terrific finish.
Timeout here in Dayton. Biggest lead for the number 2 seed, the Fighting Irish. They lead the Lady Vols by 9, and Skylar Diggins scoring and finding her teammates for Notre Dame.
It's opening day. Tigers, Yankees. Thursday at 1 Eastern on ESPN.
We make it tailored. We make it relaxed. We make it buttoned up. We make it all come together. And you make it all look good. The Men's Store inside JCPenney. Great style for guys who just want to look good. We make it affordable. You make it yours.
Introducing Pizza Hut's Ultimate Stuffed Crust Pizza. With toppings and cheese baked right into the crust, it's unlike anything you've ever seen. Choose meaty or pepperoni for your crust, then choose up to 3 of your favorite toppings. The Ultimate Stuffed Crust Pizza, only $12.99 and only at your Pizza Hut.
Get to Nissan now for the offer you need on the Nissan you want. This is Nissan Now. Get special pricing on sedans, trucks and SUVs, crossovers. Now 0% financing on popular models. Or lease Altima $189. And now see the all-new Quest. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today. Event ends March 31st.
What does it take to fly? It takes knowing we have our work cut out for us. But if you run before the wind, you can't take off. You've got to turn into it. The thing you push against lifts you up. So every challenge is a chance to show that even in this crazy world of no liquids and route cancellations, someone still has the passenger's back. And along the way, we'll prove we're not just building a bigger airline, we're building a better one.
I have astigmatism. My old contacts would sometimes move and blur my vision. Then my eye doctor told me about AccuView Oasis for astigmatism. He said it's the only lens of its kind designed to realign naturally with every blink. So now I'm seeing more clearly.
Learn more at AccuView.com.
Dave Fleming, Rebecca Lobo, Todd Harris back in Dayton. Biggest lead for the number 2 seed Notre Dame, up by 9 against the Lady Vols of Tennessee, 41-32. Rebecca talked about it right at the top. The Star Watch guard play was going to be so important. Look at those numbers.
And they both played well when they've been in the basketball game. It's just that Megan Simmons had to sit for almost the entire first half. But Skylar Diggins has been terrific. She's known when to pass and known when to shoot the ball herself.
Diggins commits a very quick foul on the inbound play, and that'll send us to another break here from Dayton. 9-point lead for the number 2 seed Fighting Irish.
Maiden, fetch my robe. Child, bring daddy some mutton. It's time to kick up your boots and watch Visigoth Sportsnet.
This March on VisigothSportsNet.com. On-court strategy demonstrations.
Whoa, what's that?
Exclusive analysis.
Nonsense. Enough of the psychobabble.
Intimate coach interviews.
Hail the King of Sparta.
Watch March get medieval at VisigothSportsNet.com. What is this?
Get to Nissan now for the offer you need on the Nissan you want. This is Nissan Now. Get special pricing on durable trucks, capable SUVs. Now, get up to $4,500 back on Titan, up to $2,000 on Frontier. And now, see the all-new Quest. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today. Hurry. Event ends March 31st.
It's the Diet Do Challenge.
You got your fans all fired up, Kenny.
Well, you thought I wouldn't, and I maintain Team Voltage is going to win this whole thing. We've been vlogging. We've been dropping Twitter bombs from the sky.
Twitter bombs?
So what have you done for Supernova?
I'm just telling people to taste it. It's in stores now, and it's delicious. And I'm telling people to go to DietDoChallenge.com and vote for Supernova.
On the internet?
Good luck, Kenny.
Pick the next Diet Mountain Dew flavor at DietDoChallenge.com.
Either way. There were 3 moments in Mike and Mike's lives that created their voice. Unique perspective started freshman year with their love of dessert.
This is a chocolate-covered Twinkie. No, it's an eclair. An eclair is a chocolate-covered Twinkie.
Their chemistry began during their domination of the high school's talent show. And their teamwork developed in biology class.
I got the pancreas.
Pancreas, idiot, that's an arm.
Oh.
Hear the voice of Mike and Mike, only on ESPN Radio.
Welcome back to Dayton, where Notre Dame has extended their halftime lead, and it's been because of their point guard, Skylar Diggins. She has just taken over here in the second half, and she's done it by hitting the outside shot and also by finding open teammates. She has been spectacular in these first 4 minutes, knowing when to look for her own offense and when to drop it off to her teammates.
Diggins, who struggled shooting the ball big time, although she had a nice overall floor game in the regional semifinal win against Oklahoma. Tonight, shooting the ball brilliantly, leading the way for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame.
And even though she didn't score very well against Oklahoma, she didn't take a lot of bad shots. She was smart with the basketball.
Megan Simmons still has not scored for Tennessee. Now a foul on the floor. As Baugh went for the offensive rebound, she got fouled by the freshman Ochanwa.
That's her first
Tennessee's bigs are so good about going to the glass and trying to get second looks.
It's been a very physical game underneath the basket, which is not surprising considering these two teams. Simmons off the side of the backboard. Johnson knocked the defender down and scored.
And on both of those possessions, Megan Simmons' teammates saved her because neither of those was very good shots. I mean, she's a very dynamic scorer, and she's an explosive scorer, but she needs to know the right time to take those shots.
And you do wonder when she's going to start to force it. Maybe it's happening. Still has not scored in this game. Mallory had a pretty good look. Here comes Simmons into the front court. Whips a pass to Spaney. Will get it back in the corner. Spaney knocks down another shot from outside.
And Taylor Spaney was the one guard for Tennessee in that first half who shot the ball well.
Well, she is saving the Lady Vols in some ways on the offensive end. They've got Glory Johnson now matched up with Diggins, who takes her off the dribble but had her shot deflected. So a defensive change, it looked like, for Tennessee there against Diggins, who's been torching them. Now another wild shot from Megan Simmons, no good. Here comes Skylar Diggins. Pull up in transition. She knew that was way off from the moment it left her hand.
A lot of quick shots here for both of these teams. And
now a pass deflected. Notre Dame was fouled by Glory Johnson.
Tennessee foul number 25.
Megan Simmons was so good early on, pushing the ball up to her teammates, and she can be so eager, especially when she didn't get some early looks going. You want to move the ball around. You want to get players more touches, and it happened on that possession when Spaney was able to get the wide open three. And Megan Simmons is a freshman. She's going to learn. She's going to grow. She's a two-guard who's playing a point guard this season because Pat Summitt doesn't have a true point guard on the team.
She's had a tremendous year, but she's having a tough night tonight. Achanwa dishes down low, and Bruszewski uses the glass. Bruszewski's having a big night scoring the ball. Glory Johnson now for Tennessee. She's got 3 fouls. She has stayed on the court for the Lady Vols. Simmons pulls up again. No good. Johnson grabs the offensive rebound, gets hammered, and she'll shoot free throws.
Notre Dame has patience. When they get the ball in the post, Achanwa has patience. And what do you do when you're the other post player? You see your player going double team, you dive to the basket. And that's why they were able to get the easy 2. And right now, Pat Summitt is talking to Megan Simmons. And she has a really calm presence about her, talking to her freshman, letting her know, got to settle down. And it's been a teaching year for Pat Summitt with Megan Simmons. But it's important for her to know the right time to take a shot, but at the same time, you want the kid to be confident because she can score.
Well, we heard Todd Harris chat with Coach Summitt right before halftime, and essentially you learn once again how much Pat Summitt knows that freshman means to her team. And Megan Simmons has played beautifully in this tournament. Tennessee needs her down the stretch. Quick move for Novosel, and along the baseline scores. Novosel's not fully healthy, but she's been an aggressor on offense tonight. Crossover, Simmons lost it, got it back. Spaney, the lefty, uses the dribble, missed the shot. Now a foul and a push by Bruszewski. They're calling the foul, I think, against Tennessee.
That was a Tennessee foul, but then it was a foul that was after by Bruszewski because she pushed off on Bob. Right here, over the back on Bob, but Bruszewski did get a little bit of a shove. That was the end of the play. That was after the Tennessee foul had already been called.
And the foul goes against the Lady Vols. Notre Dame basketball. Diggins, they left her open. She misses this time. Achanwa couldn't finish with the left hand. Great opportunity missed.
Notre Dame is a better offensive team when they get more players getting touches. I don't think that was a good shot by Skylar Diggins.
Johnson on the block. Gives back to Shakina Strickland. They need more from Strickland in this game. Johnson, quick move, but got cut off. Spaney shoots again and makes another 3.
Tabor Spaney is playing really, really well for Tennessee right now. And when they've gotten into situations where they're looking to go one-on-one, she's been the one who stepped out behind the perimeter to hit those shots.
Spaney's into double figures scoring. Novosel scores with some contact.
And right now, Notre Dame is the team that's getting the paint points. They're the ones getting inside, getting the easy looks, and even though Tennessee has the size advantage.
Johnson spins back middle, hangs in the air, missed the shot though. Under 12 minutes to play. The 2-seed Notre Dame with a 6-point lead. Diggins had it poked away. And now we'll see the speed of Megan Simmons. Finds Strickland in transition. Way off with the three though. That gives Notre Dame an opportunity in the other direction. Diggins scores. End-to-end action here, and you're seeing, I think, a little fatigue maybe on both sides. Diggins with 19. Tennessee perhaps sensing that. Pat Summitt calls a timeout. Skylar Diggins, Rebecca, continues to get it done for the Fighting Irish.
And she had a couple possessions where she had quick shots from the outside, but in transition, she almost always makes the right decision. And just the little ball fake to her teammate out on the perimeter was enough to give her the lane right to the basket.
Diggins tonight shooting the ball extremely well, unlike on Saturday against Oklahoma, making good decisions, leading the charge for the Fighting Irish. We want to remind you that on Tuesday on ESPN2, two NIT semifinal games from Madison Square Garden at 7 Eastern, Wichita State and Washington State out of the Pac-10. Then at 9 Eastern, Alabama and Colorado, two 1-seeds in that NIT tournament. NIT semifinals on ESPN2 Tuesday, also available online at ESPN3.com.
And Dave, watching this game, you're just waiting for Tennessee to make that run, to come out, because this is a team that really can score in bunches, and they can hit three-point shots. I think their trouble has been quick shooting. They have not come down and made Notre Dame work hard defensively. They haven't come and moved the ball around the perimeter and done too many of the dribble, penetrate, or kicks.
There's obviously some concern for the Tennessee coaching staff trying to figure this thing out. They have never, ever lost to Notre Dame. 20-0 all time against the Fighting Irish. Simmons trying to use a screen. Spaney, who's the hot hand right now for Tennessee, missed that time. Here comes Diggins. Poked away, though. What a steal. And now Glory Johnson turns on the Jets to lay it in.
And how about Glory Johnson getting the separation? Once she got the ball in her hands, no one was going to catch her. Glory Johnson is 6'3".
Like such a great athlete. 9 points for Johnson and several important plays on the defensive end. Miller in the game for Notre Dame almost had it stolen. Now they'll call the foul against Manning. So that sends us to a timeout here in Dayton. Glory Johnson and the Lady Vols being tested, seriously tested by Notre Dame. We'll see if Johnson and the Lady Vols can respond.
Welcome back to Hack Job. Today, we're with the Gilberts. Okay, guys, are you ready to see your new kitchen? Let's go. Take a look.
Oh, here we go. It looks amazing.
You didn't do anything. You just put Bud Light on the counter.
Exactly. It totally opens it up. We gave it a fun vibe. Clearly, this is the room people want to hang out in.
It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
The landscapers are here. Nice.
Division I student athletes have higher SAT and ACT scores than college-bound students.
The number of us receiving diplomas
is at an all-time high.
African-American males who are student athletes
are 10% more likely to graduate.
Still think we're just a bunch of dumb jocks?
You need to do your homework.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
what are you doing now?
I shall tumble dryer myself to show them how we are shrinking the prices here at Furniture Warehouse.
I don't think that's a good... Well, come in now and get a 6-piece queen-size bedroom group for just $5.99. Or how about swivel rockers and wingback chairs? Your choice, only $149. Even get the 7-piece living room for just $9.99. And you get an HD TV and TV stand free. See all our shrunken prices online at 399superstore.com. Come on into Furniture Warehouse.
Why did you not stop the tumble dryer when I was yelling?
Looking for a used car? Find thousands of local listings on vhix.com. Get used car prices from NADA and free Carfax vehicle history reports that tell you about a car's past to help you find the perfect ride. vhix.com, your online resource to find your ride.
We go here in our studios after we're done in Dayton. We head to Spokane for the regional final between Stanford and Gonzaga. The Agwumoke sisters checking out Notre Dame with the lead on Tennessee. Let's go back to Dave and Rebecca.
Well, we hope they're enjoying the broadcast tonight here from Dayton. They're going to have to contend with Courtney Vandersloot. What a tournament she's having. What a year she's having, Rebecca. So many great players still left in this tournament.
And would she be part of the discussion if it wasn't for her performance and people recognizing her performance in the NCAA Tournament? Vandersloot has absolutely been outstanding for her team. And this is a Gonzaga team that played Stanford earlier this year. They played them in November. Vandersloot had 24 points and 10 assists with only 1 turnover in that game. She's going to need a similar performance again tonight.
She's been spectacular. Perhaps a future Player of the Year candidate, Skylar Diggins for Notre Dame, getting a brief rest. She's having a great night for the Fighting Irish. On the bench now, though. Notre Dame out of the timeout with the ball. Ochanwa, nifty pass to Devereaux Peters.
And what happened? With Tennessee in the man-to-man, they like to switch. So Notre Dame recognizes that right away. They set a little big screen. Tennessee switches. Megan Simmons ends up on the post inside, and that's where it all started.
Peters' first basket from the field tonight. Devereaux Peters so important for Notre Dame, but she's been in foul trouble most of the way. Now Johnson, they left her open. She missed the shot, followed her own miss, and they call the foul against Peters. That's number 4. Just back in the game, and she's going to have to leave it immediately.
Devereaux Peters trying to get the box out, and wow, that's a bad call. Devereaux Peters had inside position, and that's tough when your 4th foul is a bad call.
Yeah, you hate to see such an important foul come on a play like that. Tatum for Spaney got pinned along the baseline, had nowhere to go, and turns it over. Now Tennessee upset that there was no foul called there. And a quick substitution for Muffet McGraw, perhaps to get some offense in there. Emily Novosel comes back in. Pat Summitt is incredulous. She knows her Lady Vols are in trouble. Under 10 minutes to play. A spot in the Final Four is on the line tonight from Dayton, the regional final. That's the number 2 seed with an 8-point lead. Still no Diggins, getting a rest on the bench for the stretch run. Novosel missed the shot. Glory Johnson, how well is she playing right now?
Well, Glory Johnson is everywhere. She's so gifted, and she's a player who can do it on the defensive end, the offensive end.
The ball open, and then Brzezinski taps it away, steals the ball.
Baugh is really talented, but she needs to not try to do so much. Right there in that position with Brzezinski on you, settle down.
Turnovers start to pile up for the Lady Vols. Notre Dame content on this possession, be a little more patient in the half court. Simmons got a hand on the ball, knocked it out of bounds. It stays Notre Dame basketball. And we see 2 players come in for Tennessee, Kelly Kane and Shakina Strickland. The shooting numbers have gotten better for Notre Dame, and they still are not there for the Lady Vols.
And I keep harping on this, but for Tennessee, I would. I'd like to see them get the ball inside. You're not shooting well from the perimeter. Try to get the ball to Kelly Kane. And that one possession of man-to-man, and Notre Dame was able to get that little big mismatch and Tennessee back into the zone.
That was a nifty play by the Irish, but Novosel could not complete the play with the basket. Diggins back in. Johnson on the perimeter. Miller trying to steal it away from behind. Here's Simmons, and the ball was poked away by Miller. Scramble for it. Johnson falls down. Timeout for Tennessee. So they save the possession. They use a timeout. The Lady Vols have just one timeout remaining, so that's going to be important with 8:12 to go. Notre Dame's got 4 timeouts. Megan Simmons, Rebecca, continues to try to force the issue here.
She's been completely taken out of her game, I think, mentally, and it starts because of the 2 fouls in the first half. She's a freshman. This is a young player, and getting those quick fouls early on, and she's been watching the game in that first half. In the second half, she's come out and hasn't been able to get her shot going. It's been a really difficult night for her offensively.
So stark comparison there. Diggins and Simmons are star watch at the outset. You can tune in to ESPN at 6:30 Eastern on Sunday for our NCAA Women's Final Four special. You won't want to miss it. Presented by Capital One, and then followed by the national semifinals. For live stats and game recaps, go to NCAA.com. One of these 2 teams will be in Indianapolis for the Final Four. 8:12 to decide it. Lady Vols have the ball with 11 on the shot clock on the inbound play. So they have to play with some urgency on this possession now. Simmons up top. Checks the shot clock and had it poked away. Diggins comes away with a steal. Diggins leads out. Miller in traffic, missed the shot.
I take Megan Simmons out of the game. Give her a chance to watch a little bit. Kamika Williams does a solid job in the first half. She needs to settle down.
It has been an impossibly difficult night for the freshman of Megan Simmons of the Lady Vols of Tennessee. She is frustrated. You can see it. Tennessee in some trouble here in Dayton.
Maiden, fetch my robe. Child, bring daddy some mutton. It's time to kick up your boots and watch Visigoth Sportsnet.
This March on VisigothSportsnet.com. On-court strategy demonstrations.
Whoa, what's that?
Exclusive analysis.
Nonsense. Enough of the psychobabble.
Intimate coach interviews.
Hail the King of Sparta.
Watch March get medieval at VisigothSportsnet.com.
What is this?
At the end of the day, you can't fool people. Nothing sells like the truth. From our fresh pack sauce, to our fresh veggies, to our 100% fresh dough, never frozen. At Papa John's, we believe fresh is better. Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Get a large Works pizza loaded with 7 delicious toppings. Or a Tuscan 6-cheese pizza. Your choice, just $11 each. Order now at PapaJohns.com.
Everything's better when Papa's in the house. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Get to Nissan now for the offer you need on the Nissan you want. This is Nissan Now. Get special pricing on sedans, trucks and SUVs, crossovers. Now 0% financing on popular models. Or lease Altima $189. And now see the all-new Quest. Visit ChooseNissan.com or see your local Nissan dealer today. Event ends March 31st.
Ooh, a brain teaser. How can Expedia now save me even more on my hotel? Well, hotels know they can't fill every room every day, like this one, and this one, and oops, my bad. So they give Expedia ginormous discounts with these unpublished rates, which means I get an even more rockin' hotel for less. My brain didn't even break a sweat. Where you book matters. Expedia.
The NCAA Women's Championship is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. What's in your wallet?
The Air Force Museum here in the Dayton area. We are in Ohio for the regional final. Tennessee and Notre Dame, the top 2 seeds in this Dayton region. Tennessee has such tremendous history in this tournament. They've been in all 30 NCAA Women's Championships. 24 times they've been here in the Elite Eight. 18 times they've been to the Final Four. Number 19, Rebecca, is not going to be easy.
And right now, I like the decision. Put Megan Simmons on the bench, not for a long time. I mean, she has the ability to get Tennessee right back into the game because she can hit threes and she can create her own shot. But Let her calm down. She was going a little bit too fast the last few times down the floor.
Senior Bjorklund in for Tennessee. She has not played much. Misses the shot. Offensive rebound. Kamiko Williams sticks it in.
Kamiko Williams making her presence felt as soon as she comes in. I thought she did a really solid job in the first half when Simmons was on the bench with foul trouble.
So despite all the struggles for the Lady Vols, just a 6-point lead for Notre Dame against the Tennessee zone defense here. Natalie Novosel, such an important player on offense for the Fighting Irish. Under 10 to shoot now. Novosel loves to attack the basket. Might not have time to do it here, though. Bruszewski got to get a shot off, and apparently did, and Notre Dame gets a rebound.
Oh, that crushes you defensively. You play the entire 30-second possession, and then you let Notre Dame have another shot.
That was real close to being a shot clock violation. Working the ball on the perimeter and working some clock. Notre Dame under 7 minutes to go for a berth in the Final Four. Novosel, what a nifty move, and somehow the ball did not go down.
But Notre Dame has had success when they've gotten the flasher to that high post area. They've gotten good looks.
Got to make those shots, though, if you want to beat a team like Tennessee. They've missed too many of them. Kane scores off the glass.
Kane is too big and too strong for any of the Notre Dame defenders. And if she gets the ball inside, she's going to score.
Timeout, Notre Dame. They do not want to let the Lady Vols build up any momentum. Kelly Kane, the player Rebecca was talking about, had a huge game against Ohio State and now getting going against Notre Dame.
And one-on-one, they can't handle her. And she makes her move quickly enough that the double team cannot come. And this is going to get Tennessee excited. This is how they can get things going again. Look at those mismatches inside.
51-47. Notre Dame with the lead. At the end of our game, you can catch, we don't want you to miss this, the net cutting ceremony. Whoever gets to cut down the nets here in Dayton live online at ESPN3.com. So if you want to see the net cutting ceremony, we will have it for you live on ESPN3.com. Notre Dame has not been to the Final Four in 10 years. For Tennessee, by the Lady Vols standards, it's been a drought. 2008, the last time they were in the Final Four. The winner here will take on the winner of Connecticut and Duke, this side of the bracket in Indianapolis. The Irish on offense here. The shot clock already down to 15. A little passive all of a sudden on the offensive end. Skylar Diggins. Mallory has to heave one up. No good. Rebound, Lady Vols. Knocked out of bounds off of Notre Dame. So Tennessee has it.
Devereaux Peters now coming back into the game, and wonder how effective can she be. Fouls obviously have to be on her mind. She has 4. She's not played significant minutes because of those fouls. And Notre Dame needs a strong defensive presence inside now. Can Devereaux Peters be that?
Miko Williams falling down travel before contact, before the block shot. A traveling violation. So turnover, Lady Vols. Their 18th turnover in this game with still 5:42 to go. Pat Summitt knows her team's got a little momentum now, trying to keep that momentum on the Tennessee side. Williams almost does it with a steal.
And it's starting with stops defensively. They've forced Notre Dame to really work the clock in their half-court sets. Tennessee, this matchup zone has been really effective the last few possessions.
Mallory Diggins, leading scorer in the game with 19. Mallory bounces it down low, and it's stolen away.
That was a situation where Peters had the screen, but she wasn't going to move even an inch to make it a better screen because she was afraid to pick up that fit.
Notre Dame's offense has been very ragged here in the last few minutes. Tennessee chipping away at the lead. They have the ball down by 4. Going down low, Kane gets ripped to the ground, and then she lands hard on top of Bruszewski. And now they're going to call a technical foul. And I don't know who they called it on.
I don't know who they called the foul on or the technical foul.
I think Bruszewski got called for the foul, although you're right, I'm not totally certain. We haven't seen a signal yet, but they had a personal foul and a technical foul that followed.
Right there, I thought Kelly Kane got her with the elbow, and then once Becca Bruszewski got the elbow inside, she pulled her down. Then there was a little bit of chatter by Bruszewski and then Kane as well.
Personal foul on Notre Dame's number 32. Bruszewski, the personal foul.
Well, Bruszewski kind of pushes Kane off of her.
We have a technical foul on Tennessee's number 52, Kelly Kane. And they've called a technical foul against Tennessee. Go ahead, Rebecca.
Well, you know, it's kind of, which do you see first? So Kelly Kane throws a little bit of an elbow first. You know, not a flagrant elbow, just a little bit of an elbow. Becca Bruszewski pulls her down. Bruszewski gets the foul. And with Kane on top of her, Bruszewski pushes her off. Refs don't call that, but then they call it when Kane kind of talks back at Bruszewski.
Pat Summitt just found out that Kane got called for a technical, and she is livid as Novosel makes the first of 2 free throws. She cannot believe it. Kane was reacting. You saw it. We had good camera work there. The verbal taunt, which is what she got called for the technical for. 2 big points for a Notre Dame team struggling for any points in the last few minutes. And we'll take another look. First the collision. They called the foul against the Notre Dame player Bruszewski. And then as she sort of gave her that little shove, Kane got right in her face. And it was that bark that got the technical.
And you got to keep things under control. But at the same time, it was instigated by the push from Bruszewski.
Kane trying to make a move. She gets fouled. So some whistles coming a little more frequently now. And Tennessee making a much better effort to go inside.
It's smart. You know that right now the referees are going to be a little bit quicker with their whistle because they don't want this to get out of control. So what do? You go inside and let your player draw the foul.
1-and-1 free throws for the rest of this game. Tennessee in the bonus. They'll shoot free throws. But Kane just has not been as involved on the offensive end as we saw her on Saturday when she had a huge performance against Ohio State. Front end of the 1-and-1, she gets it to go.
And she hasn't been as involved. As a post player, you are at the mercy of your guards. You post up strong, it doesn't matter how open you are. If you don't get the ball, you can't be involved.
Big free throw make. She is a below 50% free throw shooter on the regular season. He comes up short there. Bruszewski with a rebound.
And Megan Simmons still on the bench. Interesting to me. Kamiko Williams has played really well, but when will Pat Summitt decide that it's time to put her freshman back in?
Excellent question, Simmons. It's been a nightmarish game for the star freshman for Tennessee. Novosel in the corner. Notre Dame struggling for offense. Bruszewski back to Novosel. The 2-point jumper, no good. Strickland had it, lost it. Now the ball is loose, and Notre Dame comes away with it. Now that was a rebound that Tennessee had secured, and then it just popped right out of the hands of the SEC Player of the Year. Devereaux Peters finds the open shooter. Diggins, another 3!
And that's where Devereaux Peters' size at 6'2". She can see over the zone and make that pass.
The Yorkland crossover move, quick 3, good rebound by Bruszewski. Goes down hard with that hurt knee. Slams the basketball in frustration. Tennessee committed the foul there. It has gotten extremely emotional in the last few minutes. A player who's been emotional all game long. Megan Simmons still on that Tennessee bench. 2 fouls in the first half quickly for Simmons. She played 4 first-half minutes, and since then, Rebecca has been totally out of rhythm.
And right now, Pat Summitt extending her defensive pressure full court.
Diggins becomes the inbounder, which is not normal protocol for Notre Dame. A little change for Muffet McGraw against his Tennessee pressure. Again, a moment at the table here. Notre Dame's back up by 8. Tennessee had it down to 4 just a moment ago. You can just feel the tension here. The number 1 seed in big-time trouble. A spot in the Final Four is on the line with 4:03 to play.
But what's been the consistent theme is the number 1 seeds having tough games in this Elite 8 matchup.
Novosel on the breakout. Novosel to Peters to lay it in and break the pressure with the foul. And look at the emotion from Peters.
Notre Dame worked on this in their shoot-around today, going against the full-court pressure, and Devereaux Peters can energize her team. When she has some success on the floor, she shows that kind of emotion.
What a great press break that was. And we'll remember that play, Rebecca, with 4 minutes to go. A key moment here. The Fighting Irish back up by 10. It also gets Megan Simmons back in the game. And Strickland goes to the bench. So does Kelly Kane. It's been a tough game for Shekinna Strickland as well.
And I'd like to see some of the upperclassmen for Tennessee, when they have a chance, get in the ear of Megan Simmons and just reassure her, give her confidence, let her know that she's their point guard. They trust her and rely on her. Just help her out here the last 4 minutes of this game.
This free throw, though, a point left out there for the Fighting Irish. They do have their biggest lead, 10-point advantage, now under 4 to go. Tabor Spaney's been so good, but had it ripped away by Mallory. Comes away with the ball. Diggins, 2-on-1. Peters with the lob. What a play!
The decision-making by Skylar Diggins puts the ball where only Devereaux Peters can catch and finish.
The emotion here in Dayton, particularly on the Notre Dame side. Devereaux Peters has come to life in the last few minutes. And the Fighting Irish can sense a trip to Indianapolis in the Final Four. 3:37 to go. Stick with us here from Dayton.
This is Nissan Now. Get special savings on durable trucks, like up to $4,500 back on Titan. Event ends March 31st. Get in now.
Trusted agents with the right tools for smarter decisions. Coldwell Banker. We never stop moving.
Bro, where's your car?
It's okay. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, hey, Jake.
My car got jacked.
I got it.
Ladies, guess you're walking. You got those figures for me yet?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there with an intern.
Nice work.
Casual Wednesdays! Oh, what?
State Farm agents are there when you need them.
This is Nissan Now. Get special savings like 0% financing on our most popular models. Event ends March 31st. Get in now.
Beginning Thursday, April 7th. See the beauty and perfection of the Masters in amazing 3D. Experience majestic Augusta National with depth and detail like never before. 3D coverage of all 4 rounds of the Masters on ESPN 3D, presented by Sony. Begins April 7th at 5:30.
Trey Wingo here in our studios. Coming up next, Courtney Vandersloot and Gonzaga look to slay the Dragons. Stanford Cardinal trying to go to their 4th straight Final Four. That's up next, but let's go back to Dayton, where it may be 21 and done. Notre Dame's losing streak to Tennessee. Dave Fleming.
Thanks, Trey. And for Notre Dame, what makes this pass so perfect is not only that she throws it up where only Peters can catch it, but Devereaux Peters at 6'2", running full speed in transition. It's hard for a post player to take a bounce pass down by their knees. Fantastic, perfect pass right on the money by Skylar Diggins.
Obviously, this would be an historic win for the Fighting Irish. All their great women's basketball history, never, ever have they beaten Tennessee 0-20. They got a great chance to do it and go to the Final Four tonight. Kamiko Williams, though, attacks the basket, draws the foul.
And every time out of a timeout Tennessee has done, has had a good half-court set, and that's what you need to do right now. Getting back into this game, you're down 12, take it at the basket, get to the free throw line, get those points with the clock stopped.
Third foul against Bruszewski. Kamiko Williams trying to end a 7-0 Notre Dame run in the last minute or so.
The lineup that Pat Summitt has on the floor right now, she has both Williams and Simmons in the game. Look for Tennessee to extend that pressure. They've got a smaller, quicker lineup on the floor.
Every point, Rebecca, is precious now for the Lady Vols. Down 12 and under 3.5 minutes to play. Williams does get one of two.
And indeed, they pick up in the full court man-to-man press.
Novosel was pushed. A foul called against Tennessee. And then after that, Notre Dame jogs to the other end because it's free throws coming up for Natalie Novosel. Junior from Lexington, Kentucky, one of their better free throw shooters, near 80% on the year.
This is a Notre Dame team overall that's a pretty good free throw shooting team at 71%.
Front end of the 1-and-1 and makes it perfectly.
One thing that Notre Dame has really showed in this second half to me is poise. When Tennessee made their run, when Tennessee was stopping Notre Dame, they never made Notre Dame hurry up in their half-court offense.
2 free throws for Novosel.
Remember, this is a Notre Dame team that has been in close games. They've played Connecticut 3 times. They've been in high-pressure situations.
Again, it's the biggest lead here for the Fighting Irish. Spaney, who's been huge for the Lady Vols, not that time. Fight for the rebound. Peters, who's got the 4 fouls, almost picked up number 5. It's out of bounds, and Tennessee has it.
Peters could have easily picked up her 5th one on that one.
Notre Dame trying to advance to their 3rd ever Final Four. Out of bounds off of Tennessee. Another look down low. The Lady Vols are in big-time trouble here. More full court pressure. Another breakout for Novosel, who sort of boxes out Bjorklund to make that catch. Could be the final game at Tennessee for Angie Bjorklund, their all-time leading 3-point shooter. Clock is Notre Dame's friend, so they want to work as much clock as possible.
Look for them to set a big little screen and try to get some switches.
Novosel scores off the glass. Simmons all the way for her first basket of the game.
At this stage of the game, they're going to need Simmons' quickness and some quick scores and Glory Johnson's defense.
Bad turnover for the Fighting Irish. Tennessee's got to go. They need points. They need them quickly. Miko Williams got a little turned around, missed the shot. Rebound, Bruszewski. I'm not sure, Rebecca, Tennessee can afford any more empty possessions. They got to at least consider fouling at some point here.
I think you foul now. The way Notre Dame can work the clock and still get good shots.
Like that one, Peters missed it, got the rebound back, and now a whistle and a traveling violation. Well, the Women's Basketball Championship continues on Tuesday on ESPN. 7 Eastern, Duke and Connecticut. Texas A&M Baylor at 9 Eastern, and you can only hope the action will be as exciting as it is here tonight from Dayton. Our first regional final, first spot in the Final Four on the line. Notre Dame takes a timeout. The Fighting Irish, Rebecca, are 153 away from getting back to the Final Four for the first time in a decade. And while we have a moment, how about tonight's Capital One Cup impact performance?
I think the difference in this game so far has been at the point guard position. And Skylar Diggins has just been terrific the entire game. She's made the right decisions. When to shoot, when to dribble, penetrate, when to pass, how to get her teammates open. She has not seemed rattled the entire game. She's only a sophomore, but she's played with a maturity, and she has just been absolutely terrific this entire game.
And even though just a sophomore, Rebecca, perhaps we are seeing the difference. Freshman to sophomore, Megan Simmons, as great as she's been all year for the Lady Vols, they would not be here without their freshman point guard. She has had a very rough night.
And remember, Skylar Diggins is a 2-guard, and she made that transition from last year to this year. She made the transition from her freshman year to her sophomore year, not from a senior in high school to a freshman in college. Much different.
Now, the Fighting Irish have lots of great history in the NCAA Tournament. They've never lost once they've gotten to this point. 3 times into the Elite 8, the regional final. Twice before they've made it to the Final Four. Last time in 2001, they not only got there, they won the national championship. Lady Vols need to hurry. Bjorklund with a whistle before the shot. They're going to call a pushing foul against Notre Dame, and I think that's Peters at number 5.
That is Peters' fifth. And it's got to be a little bit frustrating for McGraw because a few of Peters' fouls have been fouls that just aren't very smart. You can't push through that screen. It doesn't make any sense. Just fight around the screen, do whatever, but don't let that be your 5th foul. This is not a smart play by Deborah Peters.
Now, even if it weren't her 5th, you just cannot commit that foul up by 13 with 1:47 to go.
You don't really want to commit that foul at any point of the game, but especially to your point when you're up 13 at this point of the game.
She does finish with 7 points, 5 rebounds. When she was on the court, she was an impact player. She just was not able to play minutes tonight.
Lori Johnson.
Now it's up to her teammates. She salutes the Fighting Irish fans who made the trip here to Dayton. At the free throw line, Lori Johnson, who is not a great free throw shooter.
And I find it interesting. Pat Summitt, the last time down when they were on offense, had Megan Simmons out of the game. And now she puts her back into the game for defense, to go for steals before they go for the foul. But when they needed to come down and get the shot they wanted, Megan Simmons was on the bench.
1-and-1 free throws here. Tennessee needs every point they can get. 10 points tonight for Glory Johnson.
Tennessee, a team all season that has the players to just score really quickly. They haven't been able to do it here very effectively in this game so far, but they have it.
Missed the second. Rebound Strickland, and she puts it back in. Here comes the pressure. Mallory's going to beat the pressure and get it into the front court. Now it's a game of keep away. At Tennessee, they can't afford to let too many seconds tick off. Spaney commits the foul against Mallory. Megan Simmons, it has clearly been a storyline for the spectacular freshman. It's been a tough, tough game.
Well, she was taken out of her game right away when she got her second foul with only 4 minutes passed in that first half. And then from that point on, she struggled. And she just was trying to create and playing a little bit too quickly. She's got the speed, but you have to know how to harness that speed. And that's one thing that she's going to really need to improve on from her freshman to sophomore year.
Front end of the 1-and-1. Mallory has 4 points. Much quieter scoring game for Brittany Mallory. Made them both. The Lady Vols have not lost since December 14th. They've won 25 games in a row. Simmons for 3. Rebound Spaney. Excellent offensive rebound. Johnson had it rejected, but a whistle and a foul. So Johnson will go to the free throw line.
Johnson strong with the ball once she got it inside. And Megan Simmons again continuing to struggle. But this is a player who so many times this season has been terrific for Tennessee when her shots have fallen.
Lori Johnson has played well here tonight. 10 points. Once again at the free throw line, this time to shoot 2. Chandler comes in for Notre Dame. If the Fighting Irish, Rebecca, take care of the ball, if they avoid mistakes, it's going to be very hard for Tennessee to catch them.
And make free throws. Making free throws is absolutely going to be key.
Johnson makes both this time. Diggins takes the inbound and then gets knocked off balance. There was no whistle. Chandler, great play to save the ball. And Notre Dame now has it. Tennessee has got to foul. They will finally send Mallory to the line.
Skylar Diggins expecting to get the foul call, and Notre Dame fortunate that when she threw the ball in the middle of the floor, Chandler was able to secure it.
So 2 parts of the equation, as Rebecca just reminded us. Take care of the ball. They did, barely. Make free throws. Mallory's got a chance to do that right here. The first of 2.
And because Notre Dame's hitting their free throws, you got to think 3-point shot the other way, because you obviously can't trade 2 for 2. Notre Dame's going to hit their free throws, so you got to look for an open 3 on the other end.
I think you're right. You can't take any of those quick 2s any longer. Mallory has been clutch at the line. The Fighting Irish fans can feel that trip to the Final Four. Strickland shoots a 3. It has been that kind of night for Shakina Strickland and the Lady Vols.
Foul. You got to quickly foul.
Waited again too long before they send Mallory back to the free throw line.
And the one player, I mean, you got to foul as quickly as you can. But you don't want to send Mallory back because not only is she a good free throw shooter, she's in a rhythm. She's made her last 4.
After they failed to foul the first player, they really had no choice The first spot in the Final Four on the line here tonight. The winner of this game, and it does look like it's going to be Notre Dame out of the Big East, will take on the winner of Connecticut and Duke. Their matchup in the Philadelphia Regional Final comes up 7 Eastern on ESPN tomorrow, Tuesday night. Devereaux Peters is fouled out of the game, but she knows her teammates are going to carry her to Indianapolis. Notre Dame, what a performance tonight against the top seed, the Lady Vols of Tennessee. All they have to do is play out the final 52 seconds now. Simmons, no good on the three. Johnson's done about all she can in this game. Just could not get the roll there. Strickland will put it back in. Now a whistle and an official's timeout. Miller got knocked there. She's in some pain. And Miller may have to go to the bench. I think a contact popped out.
Checks in for Federica Miller on Fighting Irish.
Miller comes out. Achanwa comes in.
That's someone has been doing the defense-offense substitutions. Miller, not a great free throw shooter, but she is a terrific defender.
Mallory again catches that inbound, and she is fouled quickly. So Notre Dame's done a good job of getting her back to the free throw line, where, as you said, she is in that nice rhythm. We're starting to see a few smiles on the faces of the Notre Dame coaches, players on the bench.
And Notre Dame's not a team that's really going to beat themselves. They don't make a lot of mistakes. And when they needed to in the second half, when Tennessee made their run, they had pulls. And they didn't get rattled when they got deep into the shot clock. They still passed the ball around. They got it to the areas of the floor where they could be effective. They ran when it was there. They didn't force things too much offensively.
It's a Notre Dame team that struggled a bit early in the season. Lost some close games against good competition, but the losses started to pile up. But this is a Fighting Irish group that has gotten better as the season has gone on, and perhaps playing their best game of the year here tonight. Finally, a free throw miss. Now, Notre Dame does not want to foul, that's for sure. Bjorklund, a very tough shot, and she draws a foul, and that just can't happen.
That's silly. That's silly. I mean, the player's falling away. You let them take that shot. You're happy that they're taking a two because you don't want to give up threes. That's number one. You don't give up threes. And then the second thing is you don't foul a jump shooter.
Well, it's likely not to matter, but it's a teaching moment for Notre Dame in a closer game, different situation. Once they make it to Indianapolis, that kind of thing cannot happen. Well, Bjorklund could be the final 34 and a half seconds of her great Tennessee career. They are going to look here to see if she was inside. It looked to me like she was way inside the line.
Yeah, she's well inside.
I don't know why they had to look at that, but they do, just to make sure. She'll shoot a couple of free throws here.
This is a real teaching moment, too, for Pat Summitt. And look at Megan Simmons and the struggle that she's had here today. And it reminds me of Diana Taurasi from Connecticut, her freshman year in the Final Four when they lost in the semifinal to Notre Dame. She was something like 1 for 17 from the floor. And what happened? She went on to win 3 national championships. And so this is a teaching moment for Megan Simmons as well. And she's going to have a lot of opportunity the next 3 years to get back to the Final Four and get a chance for a national championship.
Bjorklund, the player at the line, makes that free throw. She's really the only player who plays significant minutes who will be graduating and leaving this Tennessee program. Novosel just holding the ball now. Tennessee trying to come up with a steal. Diggins, and Tennessee not fouling with 20 seconds to go. Notre Dame will be headed to the Final Four. When we're done here, Gonzaga and Stanford, another spot in Indianapolis on the line. But the Fighting Irish, they will have to get a shot off here. They instead get a whistle and a foul. Starting to celebrate as Notre Dame ends the Tennessee season. Very disappointing for the Lady Vols. And it's too bad for Megan Simmons, has had such a great year for her freshman year to end like this. But Devereaux Peters and the Fighting Irish are moving on.
Taylor's leading. And for Lori Johnson. Skylar Diggins.
Mallory is starting to sink in. This group of Notre Dame players, they've never been there. Last Final Four for the Fighting Irish, 2001. Diggins has had a tremendous game.
Federica Miller.
Should be a great matchup in Spokane. Stanford the top seed out west, but Tennessee finding out just because you got that number 1 next to your name does not automatically put you in Indianapolis, and the Zags have been playing brilliantly in the tournament. Final 5 seconds here. Ball controlled by the Fighting Irish, and Notre Dame will celebrate a trip to Indianapolis. The Fighting Irish are headed to the Final Four. Their first ever win in their program's history in their 21st try against Tennessee. So the first participant in the 2011 Final Four is through, and it's the 2 seed from the Dayton region. Notre Dame will play on